Quebec City is the beating heart of the French-speaking part of Canada and is one of the most iconic cities in North America. The world-renowned Château Frontenac dominates the city's skyline as it overlooks the St. Lawrence River. This city's charming old town, cobblestone streets, and delicious food scene draws over 4 million visitors each year, making it one of Canada's top tourist destinations. With so many amazing things to see, I've narrowed it down to the top 10 things you have to do when you visit Quebec City. First on our list is a visit to the most iconic landmark in Quebec City. The Château Frontenac, said to be one of the most photographed hotels in the world, was built in 1893 by the Canadian Pacific Railway to encourage luxury travel within Canada. Over the years, the hotel has welcomed many famous figures such as Queen Elizabeth, Theodore Roosevelt, and Quebec's very own Celine Dion. Today you can visit this iconic hotel and experience the luxury. Take a guided tour to learn more about the important role this hotel has played in Quebec's history, or you can even splurge a little for a chance to stay the night. While you're exploring this iconic hotel, take a stroll along the Dufferin Terrace. This long boardwalk stretches along the St. Lawrence River and offers excellent panoramic views as it sits atop an outcrop that was once a fort. During wintertime, you can ride the historic toboggan slide that has been around for over 150 years. In the summertime, the boardwalk comes alive with live music, beautiful sunsets, and a great place to unwind, sit on one of the benches and people watch. After a quick rest, head over to Petit Champlain quarter located in the lower part of Quebec. You can reach there in two ways. You can take a quick funicular ride for just $5 Canadian, or be a little more adventurous and walk down a few flights of stairs. Just before descending into the charming streets of Petit Champlain, you'll arrive at what's called the Breakneck Stairs. Built in 1835, they are the oldest staircase in Quebec and are perfect for some photo opportunities. Rue Petit Champlain, named after the founder of Quebec, is one of North America's oldest commercial streets dating back to the 1600s when it was used as a trading hub. Today the street is lined with cobblestone streets, colorful facades, and tons of delicious restaurants and unique shops just waiting to be explored. This area is fascinating no matter what time of the year you visit. Take a stroll past the historic stone buildings and don't forget to check out the Quebec mural that depicts Quebec's rich history. Only a 5-minute walk from here is the next place I want to tell you about, Place Royale. This iconic square is often referred to as the birthplace of French civilization in North America. It was here that in 1608, a French explorer by the name of Samuel de Champlain founded the modern-day city of Quebec. The square is adorned by stone buildings with a classical French facade that make you feel as you are somewhere in Europe. You can also find some restaurants and iconic coffee shops like the Café Maison Smith and the oldest stone church in North America, Notre Dame de Victoire, built in 1688. Now while you're here, I recommend you wander through the streets of Old Quebec because each street offers something so unique and charming, you can easily spend hours here. I particularly enjoyed admiring the architecture of this place, the views of Château Frontenac towering over the city, and the vibes and atmosphere of this place which, well, you just have to experience for yourself. With all of the places I'll be mentioning in this video, it's important to have a lot of energy, and Quebec is the perfect destination for foodies. The city offers a perfect blend of French, Indigenous, and Canadian-influenced dishes. All great days begin with a cup of coffee, and for that I recommend Café La Maison Smith. It is one of the top recommended cafes in the city that embodies both the charm and elegancy of Quebec, all while serving a delicious cup of coffee. They have about 7 locations throughout the city, but the one I recommend the most is located in Place Royale. For any of my breakfast lovers out there watching, I recommend you visit La Cassette Crêpe Bretonne. This small but cozy restaurant specializes in delicious crepes which are made fresh from locally sourced ingredients. You can have them both sweet or savory, all for a reasonable price. Just down the street from the crepe restaurant is my other recommendations for those of you that have a sweet tooth. Paillard Bakery is one of the most well-known pastry shops in Quebec, offering a wide assortment of pastries, freshly baked breads, and gourmet sandwiches. I really enjoyed their cinnamon roll, but you can also try their croissant, macaroons, and much more. You cannot come to Quebec without trying its most famous dish, poutine. This dish originated in the 50s as a snack in many of the bars. Originally, poutine was made with crispy fries, cheese curds, and lots of gravy. Today you can find all varieties of the dish in many restaurants around Quebec. I recommend Poutineville due to their varieties and options from small to extremely large. They have 2 locations in Quebec just outside of the Old Town. This last restaurant I want to tell you about was by far my favorite in terms of food and the atmosphere. La Bouchée is located on Rue Saint-Louis, just down the street from Château Frontenac. They specialize in traditional Quebec food from pea soups, maple syrup treats, and my favorite dish, pâté chinois, which is Quebec's take on shepherd's pie. This restaurant had an electric atmosphere with traditional Quebec music, lots of interesting wall art, and the friendliest staff. These are just some of my favorite food suggestions around Quebec that I really enjoyed. If you want to learn more, then I recommend you check out my Quebec food video for a more in-depth guide. To see the entire city of Quebec from the tallest point in the surrounding area, you have to visit the Capitale Observatory. At 725 feet, it is the tallest structure in the city, giving you a perfect 360 view of the area. From the enclosed deck on the 31st floor, you can see the iconic landmarks such as the Château Frontenac, the Citadelle, and off into the distant the Laurentian Mountains. If you're coming in the busy summer season, then I recommend purchasing your tickets in advance in the website that I will link down in the description below. I also advise you to check the weather before your visit, as you want to visit on a sunny day to have the best views possible. The views are just part of the experience, however. The 31st floor also offers a short film about the city and offers a timetable on how Quebec City grew and became what it is today. I found it to be quite interesting. Just around the corner from the observatory is another building that I think you might be interested in. Quebec's Parliament building, which has been modeled after the Louvre in Paris, is an excellent stop if you're looking to learn about the history, politics, or perhaps just love beautiful architecture. You can take free or guided tours which are open to the public, and best of all, they are free. The tour lasts roughly 60 minutes, in which you'll get to explore the National Assembly Chamber and learn about the statues of the important historical figures that are displayed on the front of the building. The next 2 places I'm going to share have played an enormous role in shaping all of North American history. Plains of Abraham, as they are called, is now Quebec City's largest urban park, but just over 200 years ago, it served as an important battleground between the French and the British. Adjacent to the Plains of Abraham is the Citadelle of Quebec, which was in fact built by the British after they defeated the French army. To this day, this military base is used by the only French-speaking regiment in the Canadian Army. You can tour the inside of the Citadelle or walk on top of its many walls, all while admiring the views of the city and the St. Lawrence River. And just one more quick tip for your visit here. If you head along the wall to the far northeast corner, you will be greeted by the best views of Quebec. There are just a few more places I want to tell you about that you will probably not find in any other guides. First, if you're feeling a little bit adventurous and want to explore beyond the Old Town, visit the Gare du Palais, which is Quebec's main train station located next to Jean Pelletier Park. This iconic building was built in 1915 in the stunning chateau style, much like the famous hotel. Trains are a great way to explore other parts of Canada like Montreal, the capital of Canada, Ottawa, and beyond. Directly in front of the train station, you will find the Quebec letter signs perfect for a photo op. From the train station, if you follow Rue St. Paul for just a few minutes west, you'll arrive at what I consider to be the hidden gem of Quebec. Under the highway, you can find a variety of stunning art made by local artists. I could not help but admire how much work must have been put into creating such beautiful art pieces. I hope you have been enjoying all of my recommendations thus far, and if you have stuck around this far into the video, I want to give you a bonus recommendation. Located just 15 minutes from the city are the Montmorency Falls. They are one of the most spectacular natural wonders in Quebec and can be reached via a short drive or taking bus number 800. There are a ton of walking trails to various lookout points, but what I found the most shocking is that these waterfalls are taller than the Niagara Falls themselves. It really is a spectacular natural wonder and a nice break from the city chaos. These are all of my recommendations that I want to share with you today, although there are a ton of other great activities that may interest you in and around the city. I hope this guide has given you a glimpse into this enchanting city, and I invite you to check out some of my other guides. Merci et bon voyage.